morning, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon. Sorry about that. It took a little bit for it to upload for me to log in. Morning, Caitlin. Thank you for coming back today.
Good
Just
morning,
a reminder, we can keep ourselves on mute once the presenters start. And Ashley, I've just made you a co-host, and I'm going to do the same for you too, Larissa. So that's perfect. So we'll give people just a couple more minutes to log in here.
Crystal, do you want us to run the slides or do you have them?
We can do it either way. So if you prefer to run your slides, then that's great too, or myself or Caitlin can run them for you.
If you have them already available to put up, that would be awesome. Do you have them?
I believe we do. I'm just going to double check.
Yeah. I don't know where I saved my file, so just trying.
Yeah, no problem. Well, that would explain. I was looking up something in the inbox and then it had me in June. I was like, these emails don't quite look correct. Caitlin, were they sent to you by chance?
Yeah, they're saved in the shared drive under the Fanshawe Cares.
Because I have the emails talking about it. I just don't have the actual. I will go and find them. And how are we for numbers right now? Sorry, let's take a look. Let's see where we're at. Oh, good. We're getting up there. It always takes a few minutes for everybody to get on just because it only lets on so many students at once.
No worries. I found the slides, so if it's easier, I can run them from here.
We can do it either way because I'm found where they should be. And Caitlin, were you going to run your own slides today?
Yeah.
Okay. And I found them, so I'm happy to share that when the time comes if you would like, Larissa.
Okay, perfect.
And the order was going to be Caitlin was going to start, right? Was
Yeah.
that, or yeah, perfect.
So I might just get started if that's good with you.
Yeah, because it looks like we have about 120 right now, so it'll probably keep climbing, but yes, yeah.
Perfect. So good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming back again today. We're going to talk about how to get involved on campus. And I'm here to talk to you about a really cool program called Fanshawe Friends, which is really a way for you to meet a senior student and kind of have that first connection even before you start your studies and then all throughout your first semester. So the Fanshawe Friends program, the goal is to connect new international students with senior students who have already been at Fanshawe for maybe 1 or 2 semesters And the idea is that you get a new friend before you even arrive on campus, someone that can kind of introduce you to what life is like at Fanshawe, someone who can help connect you to different events and services if you're not sure where to go or how to get involved. They can share all the tips and tricks they've picked up about Canadian culture, and then just help you with your day-to-day questions. So these are students who know what it's like to be a new international student, and so they know, that you have 1,000 questions on where to get groceries and where's the best place to get books, or what should I do for fun? How do you deal with this kind of a teacher? All of the questions you can think of. So they're really here to be your friend and kind of your first source of information. With your Fanshawe friend, you'll be matched with a senior student. You'll get to develop some more cross-cultural communication skills because you will be matched with a student from, most likely, from a different country. So you also get to make a friend from a new culture, and you get to learn a little bit about a third culture, your culture, Canadian, and whoever your friend is from. And this program really helps you demonstrate some skill development that you can put on your resume for when you're looking for jobs later. So you can show that you've been involved on campus, that you have these communication skills, and maybe even after you finish your first semester, you become the senior student and do it for a new student. So it shows that leadership and that continued participation. There's lots of benefits. So for you guys, for new students, again, you get to meet a current Fanshawe student, get to kind of pick their brain for all of the tips and tricks they know. You have someone that you can ask a question to, and you don't need to feel nervous or intimidated because they're just another student and they really do just want to help. And you get to make a new friend. And very similar for the mentors, for the senior students who join that you're going to be matched with. They get the opportunity for a leadership role, to develop their skills, and also to make a new friend. So it's really a win-win situation. We do have some expectations. So if you choose to participate, we just ask that you do that you participate, that you respond to your match when they reach out to you, that you kind of keep that conversation going. Don't be afraid to reach out when you have questions or if you want to do something with them. You're only going to get what you put into the program. So if you're very quiet and you don't want to talk to your match, that's fine, but you're not going to learn a lot either because they can only start so many conversations, right? So we just expect that you participate as much as you can to really get the benefit of the program. Our mentors that you're matched with, they all go through training, so they're very friendly and outgoing. They will initiate the first couple conversations just to make sure that you're getting settled in properly, to see if you have questions. They'll be available for questions, so you and your match will decide if you want to communicate over, let's say, Facebook or WhatsApp or email, whatever it is. You will work that out with them, whatever you both like best. And then they're going to offer suggestions on anything you want to know about, really. You can do pretty much anything you'd like with your Fanshawe friend. Really, the first step is to start talking and get to know each other, see what you have in common. We recommend starting with like a Zoom or a Skype call just to chat and kind of see what you have in common, what you both like to do. But then you can go to events together. So this semester, there's going to be a lot of online digital events that you can join together throughout the college. If you are both in London or both in the same city, you could meet, go for like a socially distanced walk or something, as long as you're staying safe and staying healthy. And really anything you'd like to do. It's totally up to you guys to do what you're both interested in. We do some events just for students in the Fanshawe Friends program. So we're going to have a digital coffee hour on Friday, September 25th. So you and your friend can come. We're just going to play some little games, do some trivia, have a coffee with you, have a drink with you, and just a little chat to see how everyone's doing, how you're getting started in the program. And these are events that we continue throughout the semester. So you'll get invites to all of the events throughout the term. So to sign up, you do have to fill out an online registration form. All new students got an email on Monday this week with the link, but the link is also here and we'll share it in the chat in a moment. Once you've completed that form, you'll get an email from your match between September 8th and 11th. So make sure that you keep an eye on whatever email you put in that form. And then really it goes over to you to respond to the email from your match and set up a time to chat over Skype or Zoom or WhatsApp, whatever you guys prefer, and kind of start talking and getting to know each other. And any questions about the Fanshawe Friends program? You can put it into chat or you can unmute yourself. The matching process is done. So we match by same gender. So if you're a girl, you'll have a girl match. If you're a boy, you'll be matched with another boy. We don't necessarily do the same country. We like for students to meet someone from a different country. So we do try to make sure that you're matched with someone from a different country in the world. And we also try to match with a similar program, but maybe not the exact same. So if you're a business accounting student, we'll match you maybe with another business student, but not accounting. Or if you study at the downtown campus, we try to match you with someone else who's at the downtown campus because they know all about that campus. But again, they might not be in your program. So you get to kind of expand your network a little bit and meet someone who's in a different area. Yep, this does apply to graduate programs. So as long as you're a student at Fanshawe, you can join the Fanshawe Friends program. We're happy to have you. All programs are open. You don't have to have a Canadian phone number to get a match. You do have to provide an email, your personal email at least at the beginning. And then once you get to Canada and have a phone number, you can update your match with that. But it's not necessary to register. We just ask for it in case you have it. Are we supposed to provide Fanshawe online email account as primary? You can provide whatever email account you're going to be checking. So we want to make sure that it's an email that you look at regularly so that you don't miss your friend's email. But it can be Fanshawe Online or it can be Gmail or Hotmail, whatever you like. Registered but not get any email in the same. Yep, once you register, you won't get an email until September 8th to 11th when your friend matches, reaches out to you. So you have a little bit of time before you're going to hear from them. No confirmation after registering. As long as you filled out the form, I'll have your information. Yeah, we're going to run this program every semester. So students who are starting in January, don't register right now because you're not starting yet, but you'll get an email and you'll get similar information leading up to the start of classes in January, and you can definitely join then. And who knows, maybe in January, you'll be matched with a student who started in September, who's on this call right now and has done it as a friend and is now going to go and be the mentor. So that would be kind of cool. David, you can start registering now. As soon as you see that form, you can just go online and fill it out. I will share the link again once I'm done answering questions in the chat. I've shared the presentation already and the link was in that, so you're welcome to click there. Or you can go back and check your emails. You should have received an email on Monday with the link in the body of that email from Fanshawe International. I have a question about registering as a mentor when the student reaches level 2+. So what we do is we email all of the students who have signed up to be volunteers through the international office, and we email all of the students who have finished the Fanshawe Friends program. So once you finish kind of your level 1, being the new match in the program, you'll get an email from me saying, great, hope you had a good time, please share your feedback, and if you'd like to now be the mentor, this is how you sign up. So you'll kind of be the first in line if you were a friend this year to be the mentor next year. And it would be great. We love it when students continue through, and most students do continue through because it's a really positive experience. So after they've been helped by a senior student, they tend to want to help other new students and kind of pass on that good energy, and they end up volunteering, which is fantastic. After you register and you complete the registration form, you'll receive an email between September 8th and 11th. So your Fanshawe friends have to go through training the week before, and then they're going to get your contact information and they'll reach out to you sometime between September 8th and September 11th. So before classes start, so you can still ask all of your questions, but just know that that's the approximate time that you have to keep an eye on your inbox to make sure that you don't miss their email. So between September 8th and September 11th. Just finished the registration, that's great. Your match most likely is already in Canada because they're a senior student. That means they could have started studying in the winter or even last fall, a year ago, or even before that. So most likely they are in Canada, which is fine, even if you are still abroad doing your online studies from home for this semester. That just means that all of your communication and your kind of activities together will be online, which is totally fine given COVID. And is there a time limit for registration? You do have to register this week. So we are asking students to register by the end of this week, by Sunday, which I think is the 30th, somewhere like that. The 30th is Sunday. If you're a little bit late, that's fine. The link will still be open, but we just want to make sure that we have most of the registrations in by Sunday so that we're ready to send the matching out right away. And most of the questions now are asking for the link. So I'm going to wrap up my Fanshawe Friends presentation and hand it over for the Inspire program, which is a great second opportunity for students to get involved. And I'll start sharing the link and all of the presentations in the chat from there. If you have more questions about Fanshawe Friends, you can keep adding them to the chat and I'll keep answering. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Caitlin. Perfect. So Caitlin's going to share the link and then we shall let Larissa and Ashley get started on their presentations. And just a reminder, if you can please keep your volume to mute, just so that way there's not a lot of background noise. Thank you, guys. Larissa?
You want me to share the slides then? I can do it here. Can everybody see that okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming today. We're so excited to talk to you about the Inspire Mentoring program. So Inspire Mentoring is a career development focused mentorship program that runs out of the Entrepreneurial Services Department. And what it does is it really just helps connect students and recent grads to opportunities and people that can help them prepare for their future careers.
So there's a few benefits to joining Inspire, and we've just kind of outlined a few of them here. So you can receive advice, encouragement, and support as you navigate your career path. You can develop your professional communication and networking skills while building your confidence. Gain industry knowledge and exposure to real-world applications of the learning from your program. Receive invitations to program events and to meet and engage with other participants. And then all of the pillars of Inspire are eligible for co-curricular record recognition that you can add to your resume.
So one of our most popular pillars is the peer mentorship program. And so you just heard about Fanshawe Friends. This peer mentorship program is going to be a little bit different in that it is focused on career development. So participants can register for either peer chats, which I'm going to talk about in a second, or individual mentoring. If you, pardon? Oh, okay, sorry. I just want to make sure that wasn't Caitlin or, okay. If you do register to receive an individual match, you are matched with an upper year student. And really you decide what some of your career development goals are, and then that student helps to guide you in working towards achieving those goals throughout the term or the year, however long you are matched for. You can talk to your peer mentor about your field of study, maybe ask questions about how to connect with your industry. You're not always matched with somebody from your same program, but we do our best to make it what we call best fit matches. You are invited to the different events that we host in employment and student entrepreneurial services. So that could be anything from workshops to career fairs to we have a career development day. And you can talk to your peer mentor about any questions that you have related to college life, and they will help guide you as best they can. And your peer mentor really does care about your Fanshawe experience, and they want to be there to help you succeed in however they can. So I mentioned peer chats in the last slide. A peer chat is something that you can sign up for without being officially registered with our program. You can go on the events calendar for the Career Services Department. You can find that on FOL through resources and then the Career Co-op CCR button. And I can maybe write that down in the chat afterward. But a peer chat is a group of students that get together and they talk about whatever topic is happening that week. So the peer mentor that's hosting this chat usually decides the topic, but they vary based on what's happening around the college, the time period within the term. And within the peer chat, they talk about common questions that students have. They provide an opportunity for students to connect with each other, and then an opportunity for the attendees to ask questions to the peer mentors who are hosting the peer chat. They do tend to focus on career development, but we do have that life at Fanshawe piece that is woven through it as well.
Okay, and then I did mention a few of our pillars for Inspire. So we do have, in addition to the peer mentorship, we've got industry mentorship pillars as well. And these are pillars that are designed to help connect you more with your future industry. And many of these pillars are really geared towards students who are in their final year at Fanshawe and are ready to start preparing for their careers. So we've got the Larry Mini Industry Mentorship pillar, which is where you are matched in your graduating year with an industry mentor. And it's really just based upon availability. We have Build Your Own Experience pillar, where you can kind of piece together your own experience in terms of mentorship by seeking out mentors of your own. We've got Ripen, which will be starting later this fall, where you can engage in career development challenges, hosted either by Inspire or by other mentors from our program. And then we have the Fanshawe Virtual Cafe, which is an online mentoring and networking platform. And it's for specific groups of students in business and IT and some of the science, trades, and technology courses. But that's just a really brief overview. You can get lots more information about all of these pillars on our website. I don't want to take up too much time here with that. So if you are interested in learning more about our program, then visit our website at fanshawec.ca/inspire, and you will see all the details about all the different pillars, along with the registration forms, where you can just sign up to be a mentee in any of those. Just make sure you're reading the information carefully, because different pillars are eligible for different students in different levels, different years, different programs, and things like that. And then if you do have any questions, you can always email our inbox there at inspirementoring@fanshawec.ca. So I'm going to just stop sharing here because we do have one of our peer mentors here. Ashley, do you want to introduce?
Yes, so we have Hadil. Hadil, are you here?
Yes, I can hear you all. Can you hear me?
There she is. Yes. So Hadil has been one of our extremely committed peer mentors, and she's always up for connecting with students. So of course, volunteered for today. Hadil is going to talk to you a little bit about her experience within the peer mentorship program and a few other things. So take it away, Hadil.
Oh, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining for today. I'm just gonna go through a couple of items of our request to leave some room for your questions and queries. So I'll start by introducing myself. My name is Hadil Kassab. I was born and lived in Saudi Arabia. I do have experience in HR. I moved to Canada last year, 2019, where I registered for the HR management certificate at Fanshawe. And at the end of my program, I decided to take on another program, which I'm finishing actually this week, operations management. So I get a good experience in operations today, in addition to my HR experience. My experience as an international student in Canada has really changed the way I do live and I do think, because I have to embrace the Canadian aspects of life in order to, immerse myself into the society and be able to be a productive person. As soon as I joined Fanshawe, that was a bit totally new experience to me, and I came to know about the peer mentor, for which I was recommended by a faculty member, and then I joined this amazing group, Inspire Me, as a peer mentor. doing a volunteering opportunity as a peer mentor is so much valuable for me because it reflects my desire to engage within the society for any future job applications. Plus, I can showcase the skills which I managed to develop during my study at Fanshawe. I do understand that it's quite challenging for you to meet difficult deadlines when you start or when you embark your studies. So I want to go with you through how you stay active through this online course, whether still you're taking it as online, how you can build on to develop certain skills that will be helpful for you for the job search. And at the end, I'm going to give you some tactics about how you can work on your heavy assignments, because it's all about proper research and proper referencing. Okay, so initially, let me say that during the first few weeks of your semester, you've got to work on understanding how the learning system of Fanshawe works. And particularly when you have several assignments with very tight deadlines that are all happening within the same week. This happens for a reason, which makes you get used to working under pressure. So no panic, don't get panic about it. What you need to do is you have to build a schedule where you can divide these assignments into parts or chunks where you can work on each one in relation to your partner if you are working on a group assignment. What you need to do first, you need to ensure that you and your team members are aware of how you can do APA referencing, because whatever assignment you kind of produce as a great one, that has no value if you do not follow APA referencing style. And in addition to that, it's better to develop a document that's called rules and roles. I'll just type it here to define the role for every team member, to avoid conflict and to better manage the flow of the communication between team members. This is one thing. The other thing is, of course, frequent meeting follow-ups, whether like virtual on Zoom or on WhatsApp or whatsoever. That would really make the communication steady and would ensure that all parties are all updated with any new changes for the assignment. One small issue here, if you are studying in Fanshawe, but from your own country, do not forget to let your team members and your professor know your time zone, as they would need to adjust for you some deadlines for the assignments and for some quizzes if they have control over the deadlines for the exams. And so you can have better coordination with your team members for finishing assignments on time. As far as if you are landing in Canada, you will have to go through Celso Quarantine. And this is where you need to stay for 2 weeks at home to ensure you don't have corona symptoms or COVID symptoms. So what you can do within these 2 weeks is you need to work on your presentation skills, because it's a vital one for any job. And even when you resume your second semester, once Fanshawe decides to be a face-to-face semester. So you have to work on these presentation skills. You need also to ensure your English proficiency level, because we do understand that having you working online would minimize the room for you to practice the language and to build even these negotiation skills that would reflect on your leadership. So make sure that you read a lot, particularly in your discipline. And for this, Fanshawe is really providing a good opportunity for us for learning, where they have LinkedIn Learning. I'm not sure which division in Fanshawe that could take you through this one, but LinkedIn Learning, it provides you free courses. They are really, really helpful and so much valuable in terms of information they provide, or even trainings they give you. So make sure you take the benefits out of these courses. In addition to that as well, the most thing that every international student is looking for when they come over to Canada is to find a job to fund themselves. And here where it comes the challenge. The CV in Canada is to be designed different from the way we design the CVs in our home country. When I came initially, I had a CV of 5 pages. And when I went to the career services, they mentioned that it has to be 2 pages only, where they give you the tips for how to put the proper keywords on your CV So you get best matches and better matching for any job opportunity. So we went through these. We went through the LinkedIn Learning on the LinkedIn, and yeah, one more issue for your assignments. It's always important to design the assignments according to the rubric of the assignments, where you will have a plan that shows where the most marks are going to be calculated for you based on certain criteria. You just make sure that you follow the rubric in terms of how you need to make the writing for that assignment, so you ensure you do not lose that much of your marks, and you get a good grade. That's all I have for today. If you have, I would love to speak more, but I know we're committed for a certain time. So if you have any questions, any queries, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you, Hadil. So that's an example of what a peer chat was like. Now that was a very, very fast example, but no, it's good, it's fine. But Hadil covered a number of different topics there. So when you attend a peer chat, one time you might talk about how to use LinkedIn Learning to further your knowledge or education in an area. You might talk about job searching in Canada. You might talk about how to create a Canadian resume. And then the last thing was, we talked about time management, or Hadil talked about time management. So these are all examples of things that you might talk about. So if Hadil was hosting a full peer chat, the whole peer chat would be on time management, during exam time, or how to schedule out your time now that most of your classes might be online. And so those are some examples of different topics that you might talk about and discuss with other students and other peer mentors at the peer chat. Okay, so we'll open it up to, if anybody has questions for Hadil, I know she would love to talk to you more and answer any questions that you might have. And Larissa and I are happy to answer questions as well.
I'll just jump in. I did notice someone asked about, they don't have their FOL email yet. So you need to wait until you have all of that information before registering for any of the Inspire programs. And nothing is going to be starting until after classes begin anyways. So you're not going to be late, you're not missing anything. So it's best to wait until you have all of your Fanshawe ID, your email, everything that you need. And once you're settled that way, and then once you feel kind of ready, you can always register to be a mentee in the Peer Mentor program or access the events page. So you're not going to be late. Just wait till you have all of that, wait till classes start, and then you can register for any of our programs.
No question, guys? You're good there?
So I just see there's a question here. What is the difference between the programs we were discussing today? So I think, do you mean between Fanshawe Friends and Inspire? So I think the main difference, and Caitlin, maybe you can jump in here as well, is Fanshawe Friends is meant more for international students who are kind of getting oriented with being at Fanshawe and being in Canada once you come. And it's more kind of like a social kind of friendship kind of situation. Whereas the Inspire mentoring program is much more focused on career development and being connected to your future career. And so our peer mentors are mentors who are already very connected and on the track to their career. So they know how to engage with their industry, they know how to engage with their program, and they're here to kind of help you in that direction of things. Actually, I don't know if you want to add anything, or Caitlin.
No, that was great.
No, that was great.
I will comment here. There's another question. There are some services that coincide with career services at Fanshawe. Can you provide some more clarity? So Inspire Mentoring is part of the career services department at Fanshawe College. So Larissa and I are both career services consultants. So we have schools and students that we work with in their own personal career development, but then we also run the mentorship program to sort of take that next step. So if there are students that want further assistance connecting with industry or connecting with other students to work through their career development goals, we also run that program as well.
If you guys have any specific questions for Larissa or Ashley or Hadil, you can either add them in the the chat, or you can even unmute yourself and ask the actual question if you prefer that.
Let me just add something here about, I'm sorry, I'm interrupting maybe. Okay, perfect. I noticed during my 2 years studying at Fanshawe that the students are usually so hesitant to send emails to professors when there is like any clarity or ambiguity around assignments, or how to make sure like we're hitting the same requirement in the assignments. So the professors in Fanshawe are so much friendly, and they really like everybody. Do not ever hesitate to send, and don't think that my question would look like I'm not paying attention, or it looks so timid or something. They don't look at you from this perspective. They welcome every single clarification, and the most important is they really value so much your participation during the online session. I tell you, it really plays a great role for even shifting the way they grade you. Because participating mean engaging, mean reflecting on course concepts, and this is basically the objective of the professor, right? When they give like a topic and they spend with you like 13 weeks going through a course, they look at least for return on investment, that you give them this, you know, surprise that we're understanding what you're talking about, professor. So always make sure you participate, no matter what you say is right or wrong. It's not about right or wrong. And no matter what you're gonna send by email, particularly if you don't have like complete or full understanding of assignments requirements. So I just wanted to draw your attention to these points, because this is what I noticed with my teams. They always, you know, hesitate to, no, we don't want to send emails. We don't want to talk during the online. Why? I don't understand. Anyway, so I just thought to share this with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Adil. That is really good advice, because we often see students kind of hesitate to partake, and most teachers are really going to appreciate being involved in the discussions and such. So it's really good advice for our students, especially now, because it's all going to be online. So most of it's not going to be in person. So if you aren't participating, they aren't going to really get to know you. And then, as we had other presenters on last week talking about how even your professors can be part of your job networks and stuff like that, right? So if you're not participating, they aren't going to be able to give you any kind of reference or even have any opinion. So it's a really great point.
Yeah, absolutely. Particularly, there will be certain in-class activity. So if you don't attend, you will lose the in-class activity and its related mark. And as well as when you participate, you will give the professor an idea of how you opine the course concepts. So even when you like miscommunicate these concepts in your assignments, the professor knows you, knows the way you think, and then can, you know, substitute the mark for you in a way or another. You acquire knowledge, you acquire a good understanding of that, and maybe that you couldn't really reflect it well in writing, but you have it right in here. So you're building the rapport with the professor, and this is so much important even for references for jobs. So I wish you all the best for that.
And there is a question here, and it's just asking if they're only eligible for the Inspire program for their first semester, or can they remain involved their whole academic cycle?
Yeah, so the peer mentorship pillar of Inspire, as a mentee, we say new students, but really that can be anybody that's looking for some guidance or looking to connect. The other pillar, so more of on the industry mentorship side, is actually for students in their upper years. So do go on and take a look. You can, if you register as a peer mentee in your first semester, you can stay on as a peer mentee your whole entire first year. And then, oh, I have some visitors here. But there's no requirement that you do stay on. If you decide you don't want to stay on, oh, sorry, 1 second. you decide that you don't want to register in your first semester and you decide you want to register in your second, that's totally okay as well.
Yes, if anybody has tried working from home with younger children, it is always like that. My tiny guy is back in daycare, thank goodness, because he would just run in the middle of videos or bang on the door and scream. I'd be like, oh, hi, everybody. We're in the middle of a session. Perfect. Yeah. This is just part of the new world, right? Working from home and you have children. Yeah. But they are pretty cute, as some of the students have noted. So.
I do have like a query here, so may I answer that, or do you have any certain arrangement for it? Okay, so I have Tanushri, I hope I'm spelling the name right. He or she says, hi Hadil, are there any tips on how we can be an active participant online? I'm assuming there might be points credits for class participation. Look, initially and officially, there is no allocation for credits for you when you participate, but the professor is the king of the class. So he has that, magic stick to shift on some of the way he's marking you if he has the assurance that you acquire the proper understanding of the course concepts. In order for you to ensure productive and effective participation during the classes, make sure you read the PowerPoint slides. Usually professors, they post on a night before or a day before the class. So download the PowerPoint slides, try to read it, make some Google research on key concepts within these slides, and try to connect it to the rest of the slides. At least to draw on 2 to 3 points. And by time, when you master this skill, you will have proper understanding. You will feel that you're even, advanced comparing to your other peers in the class. And definitely the professor is able to detect that you're with him or with her on the same page of this course concepts. This even will give the professor the comfort when he or she marks your assignments, provided that they do not see you and they cannot put a name on a face, right? I do recommend that in the first class, the first 2 or 3 classes, just try to join by video so they can see you. Face expressions also adds to the participation level. And for the later, you can just do it via audio, but make sure you read well before the class. This is how you can ensure you have a productive participation. And believe me, at the end, things will be different. If you are 1 mark from a grade where, for example, you're 79, and this is B, and in order to be in A grade, you have to score 80. The professor can look back into your grades, and he can put this up for you to make sure he's really reflecting your level of understanding of these course concepts. So you will take this advantage by time. Thank you.
Was there any more questions kind of related to today's presentations? And I'm wondering if anyone who isn't muted, if you could just mute yourself unless you want to ask a question. Can you please mute yourself? The note, can you please mute yourself?
I was just going to say it was in the slides, but I'm also going to just write in the chat here the Inspire Mentoring email address, so that if you do have a question that maybe you don't want to ask here, you are totally welcome to send it to us and we will get back to you with an answer.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. The laptop was stuck, so he wasn't able to mute himself. No problem. Okay, so if that's it for questions on either the Fanshawe Friends or Inspire Mentoring, then you ladies, thank you again for joining us and giving a ton of info. And I think it was great for our students to kind of hear the perspective from a student that has done the program. So I think that's great. Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to add, Ashley?
Not that I can think of. It was so great to be here with all of you today, and I've put our email address in the chat. Feel free to check out our website, register for anything that you think is interesting to you, and we hope to see you inside Inspire Mentoring.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, everybody. Good luck in the semester.
Thank you for joining us today. It's great hearing from a current student who has experienced the process.
Thanks, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
And then you're welcome to stick around. We're just going to answer a few more questions on Fanshawe Friends and general questions here, because there is a lot of FOL questions today and password and access type questions. So you're welcome to stay, but if you have other meetings or other things you'd like to be working on, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks so much. We will see everybody later.
Thank you, Larissa. Yeah, so if you all want to stick around, we do have another 10 minutes or so. If there was any more general questions that you wanted answered, we'd be happy to go over that with you. And if not, we can always wrap up early. I'm sure for some of you, it's pretty late in the evening. Yeah, so I see there's a question here about how online classes will be delivered. So if you've received your schedule, so some of the classes will actually have live components. So where you have to be logged on at a specific time to actually go over course content. And then some of it may just be like read this chapter, these things throughout the week on your own. So it's going to be kind of a mix of how it's going to be delivered, but your schedule should kind of tell you what to expect as far as your daily classes. Your list of books should be available on the Fanshawe College bookstore website under your program. You should be able to pull up a list. And it may not be there yet for every program, because I do know that some of the programs, they're still working out schedules, but that is where you would find it. So your Fanshawe online emails, you should have received that sort of way back when, after you initially applied. If you don't know how to locate that or don't have access to it, your best bet is going to be to follow up with our IT help desk, because they can assist you with that. And their email is just helpdesk@fanshawec.ca. So I'm going to actually add that into the chat room just because that's their general email address. Sorry, I am a loud typer, so I'm sure you all could hear me typing there.
I
So
see a
that is
question about the Fanshawe Friends program. So what happens if you're
perfect.
not in sync with your senior peer? If you and your match are having issues getting in touch with each other, or someone's not responding, you would just email me and we'll sort you out a new match. But honestly, that's very rare. Most of the partners are very good because they're volunteers. They want to be part of this. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But if something does go wrong, we'll just switch you in with a new match.
Perfect.
Gabriella, you have a question about the laptop requirements for your program. You will be attending a program orientation with your program coordinator before the start of classes. They would know best what the requirements are for your program because it varies a lot program to program. So I would say ask your coordinator at that orientation. Davik, there are 4 pillars for the mentoring, Inspire mentoring. You can join all 4 pillars. Yeah, go for it. Go crazy. Camille, some of your textbooks might be available as ebooks online. If you can find them online, that's great. If you like ebooks, if you buy them through the bookstore, you'll get a digital copy sent to you. So you'll get a link to download it. But you might be able to find them online for free. I know some students know how to do that. I wish I knew how to do that, but I don't. But yeah, if you can find them, just make sure that it's the right edition. Because if you get an older edition, sometimes you'll be missing information or the pages won't match what your teacher is telling you for your assignment. If you did not finish, Alvin, if you did not finish your 1-year program in time, yeah, our immigration advisors can help you determine what the best step is for you. If you need to extend your visa, renew your study permit, whatever that might be in your situation. They won't do it for you, but they'll answer your questions and tell you what you need to do. And then it's your responsibility as the student and the study permit holder to gather the documents required for the application and actually submit it. So they can answer all your questions, make sure that you know what you have to do, but it's you, the student, who has to do it. KK, you have your schedule, but it mentioned OL online. So that means that your classes will be online. I don't know if it'll be live, like these sessions are not. If you're not sure if your classes are live or recorded, talk to your program coordinator because they will be able to tell you. Got the help desk email. Elizabeth, some teachers will use Zoom. Other teachers might prefer different platforms like WebEx. Again, it's up to the teacher to decide what they like, but they will tell you and they'll use a consistent platform. So you'll know, okay, I know that this class is always going to be Zoom or this class is always going to be WebEx. So once classes start, you'll get that information right away. Is it wise to buy any books before coming to Canada? It kind of depends when you're coming and I guess how much luggage you want to bring with you and the prices of books in your home country. Most students who are able to travel to Canada buy their books here because they don't want to carry 50 pounds of books in their bags when they probably have a lot of other stuff to do. But if you were hoping to travel like in the middle of the semester because you're online, obviously you need the books for the start of the term. So it really depends on what fits best for your situation. Many Kumanaran, sorry if I've mispronounced your name. I'm not an immigration advisor and I'm not up to date on the IRCC updates, so I can't answer your question, but you can email immigrationsupport@fanshawec.ca with that question. Sarah, the student cards are being rolled out to students who are in London first, and then students who are abroad will receive an email soon. I don't know exactly when. It's our registrar's office that does that, but they'll send out an email as soon as they have the process in place. So just keep an eye on your email for now. The good news is you don't need your student card to start classes. So it's okay if your student card comes in October or the end of September, whenever that may be, because you can still continue on in your program without it. Crystal, yes, that is the right link for your books to get to the Fanshawe bookstore online. KK, I'm not sure if you'll be able to download recordings of your online lectures. It'll really depend on whether your teacher chooses to record them or not. Some teachers may, some teachers may not. So again, it's something that you're going to have to see when you start classes, what your particular teachers are going to do. Sonia, you can find the details of your program coordinator on Fanshawe Online. There's your homepage should say who your program coordinator is and give their email. Or if you go to the Fanshawe website and you go to your program page, again, on the bottom right-hand side, it'll say your program coordinator's name and their email. Make sure when you email your program coordinator that you're being polite and that you include your Fanshawe student number in the email just so that they can look you up and see, oh yes, this is one of my students. And it'll just help them give you a more specific answer for you.
And yes, tomorrow's show is going to have the FSU back with us. So they are going to be back on to finish their presentation. And then we also have some community agencies who help international students adjust. So both of those will be here for tomorrow's session. And then tomorrow's session is our last session together. But we are here for you anytime you have questions through email and stuff. And then we'll also be doing engagement activities and stuff throughout the fall term.
Carrie, by ID, I'm guessing you mean your student ID. So if you're outside of Canada, we're still just finalizing how students outside of Canada will get their student card. So I don't have an answer for you yet, but our registrar's office will email all students the details on what you have to do and how to upload your photo so that you can have your student card ready. But it's not something that you need to be worried about right now, because honestly, if you're outside of Canada, you really don't need your student card. It's not like you're using the bus pass or anything here for the semester. So it's okay if you don't have it right away. Alvin, the right time to enter Canada, if you're starting your classes in January, like 1 month before at the earliest, because you don't have health insurance before that. So you definitely don't want to be entering Canada when you don't have insurance coverage. But it depends on what's going on with the borders and what's going on with COVID and your personal situation. So I would suggest emailing Fanshawe Cares at fanshawec.ca because they organize our arrival services. It's actually Crystal, so she'll email you back. And she can give you kind of more details on what might be best for you. Tej, you cannot download your medical card right now. You have to wait until after the 10th day of classes to download your MoreCare card off the MoreCare website, but you still have coverage. You just can't download the card until after the 10th day. Camille, can September intake students come to Canada in October? Will they have online studies? I don't know. It'll really depend on if the border is open, if the government's allowing students to come to Canada, if you've opted out of health insurance or not. We just don't know. We can't predict the future right now, sadly. I wish I could. I wish I could give you the answer, but we're going to have to wait and see.
And the session we missed, we actually were able to combine it with the following session because we only had one presenter. So the one where we kind of missed, we just combined it together. So we actually did end up covering it. So you've not actually missed anything.
And because it's 10:31, we're going to wrap it up, I think, with the final two questions. So your student card, if you're studying in Canada and you're in a blended course, which means you're taking classes on campus, then you have a bus pass, and that bus pass is your student card. But if you're fully online, you do not have a bus pass. So you have to buy your own bus tickets or flex card if you're in London. Obviously, if you're not in London, you don't need a London bus pass. And you can do that through the LTC website. So if you Google LTC London, you'll see all of the different fare options. And Camera, if you are traveling in September, yes, as long as you're a full-time student, you've paid your fees, you do have the MoreCare health insurance. And you should be emailing Fanshawe Cares at fanshawec.ca to arrange your arrival and your travel information, just so that we know that you're coming. Crystal, do you know how many cases there are in COVID in Ontario right now?
There's not too many. We are in phase 3, and I can look up the current numbers.
London is fairly low. I know that, but I don't know the exact number.
Oh, and for anybody that remembers, a couple days ago, I was talking about having to get the COVID test, and we actually got our results back within 24 hours, and we were all negative, as I thought so. We had no symptoms except for a child with a runny nose. Anybody who has a toddler or has ever been exposed to one knows their noses run constantly. But yeah, so, and it was a pretty easy process. It wasn't the funnest test, but yeah. But that was over. So it was a pretty easy case. So
Carrie, you can carry your child on the bus. I think children like under 3 or 4 years old can ride the bus for free, and school-age children get a discount. But obviously, if you have a young child, like 1 to 2, you can carry them on. It's fine. Tej, your bus pass is unlimited within the City of London. You can ride it as many times as you want, and you can get all across the city on the bus.
I'm still just looking for the current numbers. I'm finding the overall numbers. I'm not finding the specifics. And yes, the bus is only for London.
Maybe we can look up the numbers for tomorrow.
Yes, yeah, it's not super clear. Like it's kind of like overall, these are Ontario's cases, and so I'm trying to find like an actual current number. But yeah, if you guys would like, I can have that for you for tomorrow, so we get an idea. But we are in phase 3 of 4 phases, so almost everything is open here. We don't have subways here in London. You will only have buses. Yeah, so it would only work for the only public transit we have. So, but yeah, so and if there is more questions, we can address those tomorrow as well, or even by email. And yes, we are hoping that the winter term is going to be face-to-face too. But if not, then we'll all get through it the same way we have the last 6 months of adjusting to the new norm. But yeah, we will see you all back here tomorrow morning, night, or afternoon. And thank you all again for joining us. And thank you, Caitlin, for telling us all about Fanshawe Friends. And hopefully you all go and sign up so that you can be matched with students. And yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone. See you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.